In public discussion of business,
In public discussion of business,
we take certain values for granted.
we take certain values for granted.
Today, I'm going to talk about 4 of them.
Today, I'm going to talk about 4 of them:
Collaboration, hard work, creativity, and excellence.
collaboration, hard work, creativity, and excellence.
Most people would say they're all good things.
Most people would say they are good things.
I'm going to suggest that's an oversimple view.
I'm going to suggest that's an oversimple view.
The trouble with these values is
The trouble with the values is
that they're theoretical concepts,
that they theoretical concepts
removed from the reality of
removed from the realities of
day-to-day business.
day-to-day business.
Pursue values by all means,
Pursue values by all means,
but be prepared for what may happen as a result.
but be prepared for what may happen as a result.
They can actually cause damage,
They can actually cause damage,
which is not at all the intention.
which is not all at all the intention.
Business leaders generally try to do the right thing,
Business leaders generally try to do the right thing,
but all too often the right thing backfires.
but all too often the right thing backfires
If those leaders adopt values
if those leaders adopt values
without understanding and managing the side effects that arise.
without understanding and managing the side effects that arises.
The values can easily get in the way of what's actually intended.
The value can easily get in the ways of what's actually intended.
Okay, so the first value I'm going
Okay, so the first value
to discuss is
I'm going to discuss is collaboration.
collaboration. Let me give you an example.
Let me give you an example.
On a management training course I once attended,
On a management training course I once attended,
we were put into groups and had to construct a bridge across a stream.
we were put into groups and have to construct a bridge across a stream
Using building blocks that
using building blocks
we were given.
that we were given.
The rule was that everyone in the team had
The rule was that everyone in the team
to move at least one building block during the construction.
have to move at least one building block during the construction.
This was intended to encourage teamwork.
These were intended to encourage teamwork,
But it was really a job best done by one person.
but it was really a job best done by one person.
The other teams tried to collaborate on building the structure
The other teams tried to collaborate on building the structure
and descended into confusion,
and descended into confusion,
with everyone getting in each other's way.
with everyone getting in each other's way.
Our team leader solved the challenge brilliantly.
Our team leader solves the challenge brilliantly.
She simply asked everyone in the team to move
She simply asked everyone in the team
a piece a few centimetres
To move a bee a few centimeters.
To comply with the rule,
To comply with the rule.
and then let the person in the team with an aptitude for puzzles like
And then let the person in the team with an attitude for puzzle
this build it alone.
like this build it alone.
We finished before any other team.
We finished before any other team.
My point is that the task wasn't really suited to team working.
My boy is that the task wasn't really suited for team working,
So why make it one?
so my make is one.
Teamwork can also lead to inconsistency.
Teamwork can also lead to inconsistency,
A common cause of poor sales.
a common cause of poor sales.
In the case of a smartphone that
In the case of smartphone,
a certain company launched,
that a certain company launched,
one director wanted to target the business market,
one director wanted to target the business market,
and another demanded it was aimed at consumers.
and another demanded was aimed at consumer.
The company wanted both directors to be involved,
The company wanted both directors to be involved,
so gave the product a consumer-friendly name,
so gave the product a consumer-friendly name,
but marketed it to companies.
but marketed it to companies.
The result was that it met the needs of neither group.
The result was that it met the needs of neither group.
It would have been better to let one director or the other have his way, not both.
Its work has been better to let one director or the other have his way. No both, not both.
Now, industriousness or
Now, industriousness
hard work.
or hard work.
It's easy to mock people who say they work hard.
It's easy to mock people who say they work hard.
After all, a
After all,
hamster running around in a wheel is working hard,
a hamster running around in a wheel is working hard
and getting nowhere.
and getting nowhere.
Of course, hard work is valuable,
Of course, hard work is valuable,
but only when properly targeted.
but only when properly targeted.
Otherwise, it wastes the resources that companies value most.
Otherwise, it's way the resource that company value most,
Time and energy.
time than energy,
And that's bad for the organisation.
and that's bad for the organization.
There's a management model that groups people according to 4 criteria.
There's a management model that groups people according to four criteria. Criteria.
Clever, hard-working,
Clever, hardworking,
stupid, and lazy.
stupid, and lazy.
Here, lazy means having a rational determination
Here, lazy means having a rational determination
not to carry out unnecessary tasks.
not to carry out unnecessary tasks.
It doesn't mean trying to avoid work altogether.
It doesn't mean trying to avoid work together.
Most people display 2 of these characteristics.
Most people display two of these characteristics,
and the most valuable people are those
and the most valuable people are those
who are both clever and lazy.
who are both clever and lazy.
They possess intellectual clarity
They possess intellectual clarity,
and they don't rush into making decisions.
and they don't rush into making decisions.
They come up with solutions to save the time and energy spent
They come up with solutions to save the time and energy
by the stupid and hard-working group.
spent by the stupid and hard-working group.
Instead of throwing more man-hours at a problem, the
Instead of throwing more than hours at the problem,
clever and lazy group looks for a more effective solution.
the clever and lazy group look for a more effective solution.
Next, we come to creativity.
Next, we come to creativity.
This often works well,
This often works well,
creating an attention-grabbing TV commercial, for example,
creating an attention-grabbing TV commercial, for example,
might lead to increased sales.
might lead to increased sales,
But it isn't always a good thing.
but it isn't always a good thing.
Some advertising campaigns are remembered for their creativity
Some advertising campaigns are remembered for their creativity
without having any effect on sales.
without having any effects on sales.
This happened a few years ago with the launch of a chocolate bar.
This happened a few years ago with the launch of a chocolate bar.
Subsequent research showed that plenty of consumers remembered the adverts, but
Subsequent research showed that plenty of consumers remembered the advert,
had no idea what was being advertised.
but had no idea what were being advertised.
The trouble is that the creator derives pleasure from coming up with the idea,
The trouble is that the creator derives pleasure from coming up with the idea,
and wrongly assumes the audience for the campaign will share that feeling.
and wrongly assume the audience for the campaign will share that feeling.
A company that brings out thousands of new products
A company that brings out thousands of new products
may seem more creative than a company
may seem more creative
that only has a few,
than a company that only has a few,
but it may be too creative
but it may be too creative
and make smaller profits.
and make smaller profits.
Creativity needs to be targeted
Creativity needs to be targeted
to solve a problem that the company has identified.
to solve to solve a problem that the company has identified.
Just coming up with more and more novel products isn't necessarily a good thing.
Just coming out with more and more novel products is necessarily a good thing.
And finally, excellence.
And finally, excellence.
We all know companies that claim they strive for excellence.
We all know companies that claim they strive are excellent,
But it takes a long time to achieve excellence.
but it takes a long time to achieve excellence.
In business, being first with a product is more profitable than having the best product.
In business, being first with a product is more profitable than having a best product.
A major study of company performance
A major study of company performance
compared pioneers,
compared pioneers,
that is, companies bringing out the first version of a particular product,
that is, company bringing out the first version of a particular product,
with followers,
with followers,
the companies that copied and improved on that product.
the company that copy and improve on that product.
The study found that the pioneers
The study found the study found that the pioneers commanded
commanded an average market share of 29%.
commanded an average market share of 29%,
While the followers achieved less than half that,
while the follower achieved less than half that,
only 13%,
only 13%,
even though their product might have been better.
even though their product might have been better.
Insisting on excellence in everything we do is time-consuming,
Insisting no excellence in everything we do is time-consuming,
wastes energy, and leads to losing out on opportunities.
wastes energy and leads to losing out on opportunities.
Sometimes second-rate work is more worthwhile than excellence.
Sometimes second-rate work is more worthwhile than excellence.
Make sure it's excellent sounds like a good approach to business,
Make sure it's excellent. Excellent sounds like a good approach to business,
but the just get started approach is likely
but the just get started approach
to be more successful.
is likely to be more successful.
Hi.